Woman of Reddit. When men or women look at your ass or boobs, what do you think? Side question, do you notice when guys are looking for a wedding ring? Now that I'm older, I check out hands almost more than bodies. I'm totally oblivious of being checked out unless someone is being creepy gross about it, or if I'm trying to have a serious conversation and am not being heard acknowledged. BC, the person is deadpanned and staring at my chest. Other than that, I really don't care. Hey, it depends. I had a coworker at one of my first jobs who, whenever he spoke to me, would only talk to my boobs. He rarely looked at my face when he talked to me. It was weird, but kind of funny when I think about it. I don't usually get checked out, TBH, so I'm kind of oblivious, and if I am, I don't notice. My ass is flat AF, so a person would only be looking at thoughts and prayers. Edit. Thanks for all the dick pics in my inbox, boys. My partner says half of you guys should have a doctor take a look at what's going on down there, because that shit doesn't look normal. I have pretty large breasts. All my life, I've had people make full eye contact with my boobs because of that. I think it's kind of funny most of the time, but it can get annoying and a bit gross, especially when a guy who's old enough to be my grandfather is staring at them like they're telling him the secrets of the universe. If it's my ass, well, I don't blame them. If it's my boobs, I'm looking for them too and still haven't found them, after my multiple decades on this planet. I don't think anything of people who stare. I just get really self-conscious and think there is something wrong with me, my clothes. At the gym, I don't mind. But if they start disturbing my workout, talking, or STH, that would be a no-no. I don't care if you look, just don't make it obvious. Glances are okay, but if you're staring there the whole time, I'll probably have a problem lol. Edit. Some people are taking my comment and running with it. Just because I said glances are okay doesn't mean sexualizing us is. This is basically it. I'm a man. When I was a horny and immature student, I knew a girl with the biggest breasts I'd ever seen, like ridiculous. She was part of a group I was part of. None of the guys hadn't noticed them, even the gay guys. But like the sun, you don't stare. It wasn't her fault that normal clothes didn't always fit that well. It wasn't always easy because horny young men, but we didn't ogle her or treat her like a piece of meat. If anything, she probably thought we were gay. And that's how it should be, because to ogle her would have made her feel unsafe or unwelcome. There really is no excuse. You can choose not to ogle. I sometimes catch my boyfriend secretly looking at my boobs or ass, for example in middle of conversation or passing me by, and I absolutely love it. I usually ask what he was looking and he gets this naughty smile and tells me how good I look. No one has ever looked at me like that, and it makes me feel so wanted and loved. I apologize to all the people I've accidentally stared at. No, really, if I start thinking about something, like really trying to concentrate on something, I have a tendency to kind of just freeze and lock into position, meaning like I'm just completely still. Wherever my eyes were looking, whenever I started thinking is where they're just gonna kind of stay in position to. There have been times where I've been in a grocery store and I've been trying really hard for a member. Something that I knew I forgot. Like, oh shit, I know I forgot something. Something refrigerated? What the fuck was it? Then I think really, really hard. And next thing I know, someone is locking eyes with me angrily. I don't do it super often, but I've had a few times I've done it. Or I've completely zoned out while thinking about a whole bunch of different things and done that sort of thing at a gas station. I feel uncomfortable. It is just weird. Like, there was a guy where I used to work. He just never could keep his eyes up. Like, a peek to the boobs is fine. I am a woman, I have boobs, men like boobs and look. But to constantly keep looking at them during our conversation is just plain weird. It makes me uncomfortable and shows that he can't control himself. Lack of self-control is a big negative. In other words, self-control is a virtue. People have been staring at my boobs since I was 16, but I've got collarbone tattoos and a chest tat now, so now they've got something pretty to look at while they're at it. Women will usually mention my tattoos and my boobs. Men try to be sneaky or stare and say nothing. It is what it is. If they're staring at my ass, then cool, I think it's pretty nice. I'm flattered. I used to be high maintenance when I was younger, then I had a kid, a school shooting, and a car accident. Not really optimal for keeping up with my looks. I've been working hard lately to burn it off. Dropped around 70 pounds so far. So if I see someone looking, my thought is, if their face isn't filled with disgust, I'm finally doing something right. Sounds shallow when I reread it, but I am someone who deals with severe self-esteem issues. Edit, survived a school shooting. Realized it looks like I hosted one. Yikes. The last time a guy made a comment on my boobs was 2 years ago. I thought he was a total douchebag, and rejected him. 2 years in, I'm now engaged to that man. I like wearing sweatshirts and sweatpants, so I don't really get comments. It depends on the situation. I have always had big, beautiful tits, so it just comes with the territory. When I was pregnant, my boobs blew up like balloons, and an older man literally stared at them the entire time I was stuck in line at a grocery store. That was uncomfortable, to say the least. Last weekend, my husband and I went out for Valentine's Day and decided to swing by a casino before heading home. I wore a dress that allowed me to button it for more modesty during dinner, but I unbuttoned it for the casino, mainly to be more comfortable. I got a lot of stares, and one man sat right next to me and put his arm over the back of my chair attempting to make a move. My husband was there to protect me if needed, so I wasn't worried about my girls getting some extra attention. Who raised you? This of course only applies to people who have no shame in how heavily they eye-fuck you. We're all human and notice everyone's bodies. But I would never blatantly stare at a guy's bulge or body and get so uncomfortable when a guy doesn't show me the same respect. Depends on the context and whether it is a glance or stare. A glance and then a look away generally doesn't bother me. If there is a prolonged stare, ESP when there is nothing for them to see, like if I'm bundled up in a boxy coat with scarf or no skin or silhouette showing, then yeah, I'm gonna assume you're a creep. Example, I was wearing a pantsuit in court while talking to a lawyer. The blouse under my jacket was conservative. Fairly loose-fitting, not low-cut, no cleavage whatsoever. Lawyer kept staring at my chest while we discussed case. After a minute of this, I moved the big folder I was holding so I was hugging it against my chest, hoping he would get the hint once I blocked his view. Nope, he kept staring. Literally nothing for him to see. Didn't matter. I still feel awful thinking about it. At the time, I was just so disheartened and disgusted. No matter how good I was at my job, the men I had to deal with were never going to see me as something other than an item on a menu that I was not agreeing to be on. And worse in professional situations is knowing that sometimes you have no way to address it without potentially embarrassing the guy and making him mad and hurting your professional prospects. So you just have to put up with the stares and try to ignore the weird borderline comments they make. And the fact that your nice male colleagues don't even notice it or pay any attention to it, BC, it's never that overtly harassing. In short, it makes you feel really shitty and so tired. Really depends on context, but as a general rule, when women do it, I'm flattered. When men do it, I'm afraid. The vast majority of the time, if a woman thinks I'm pretty and I say no to her advances, we'll laugh about it and keep talking. If a man thinks I'm pretty and I say no to his advances, he'll most likely keep pushing. Won't take no for an answer, may get physically aggressive, storm off in a huff, and if I'm really unlucky, I may get followed home. Obviously, those examples don't represent every man and every woman, but they are unfortunately the most likely responses. Even if a guy would accept no for an answer, there's a dozen more who wouldn't, and I can't know which is which until after I've already potentially put myself in danger by turning them down. I always find it odd when a woman will wear some tight pants with the words "juicy" written on the butt cheeks. But if I dare look, somehow I'm the creeper. Same deal with cleavage. When something is showing just about everything but the nip, as a guy, how am I not supposed to look? It's one thing if I was ogling a nun where she is clearly covered and I would clearly be a creep. But when bodily parts are highlighted for the world to see, it always struck me as disingenuous to intentionally show off the goodies, but then get upset that anyone would then look. It's the ones who stare and don't look away that are creepy. Or if you're speaking to me and looking at my face, then glance down and then back up. That one just makes me angry. You can't pay attention to my words long enough to not look at my boobs. It's so damn rude. For my boobs, I think shit is there something on my shirt after one glance. Usually I'll just look down to check, and that usually prevents another glance. For my butt, I don't have one, so that's not really an issue for me, lol. If they do look, I never notice. I think it comes down to respect and how you treat me overall. If you're a creep, I'll just try avoiding you. If I can tell you just can't help but glance, I'm usually okay with it if I know you're really trying not to look and it's just one glance. However, I'm not afraid to admit I'm hypocritical on this. Women are different emo. I don't mind when they look, and usually they'll say something like, "Damn girl, your boobs look great in that shirt," or something, and I don't mind at all. Maybe it's a safety feeling? I've never been in a position where I feel fearful of men, but I guess women still feel less threatening. It's also a weird way for us girls to bond, especially in the girls' room LOL. I think in general, no one's going to care much about a quick look. But if you can't hold a conversation with me without me being very aware you're looking at my bits, I'm going to assume you don't respect me enough to really care what I'm saying if you're still more interested below my eyes. I hate it. I hate it. I mostly hate it anyway. If I'm trying to look good or the attention I'm receiving is respectful, e.g. not getting catcalled or commentary, then it's not as bad. But I'm also at this mid-30s point in my life, hyper-situationally aware whenever I go out about either what I look like or if where I'm going will be crowded, etc. due to not wanting to be noticed much. I have been getting ogled since I was 13, 99% from men. For this reason, women ogling me doesn't bother me at all. I'm so sick of feeling like a piece of meat to, primarily men. There was a period of time where my drinking and mental health got bad, early pandemic, and I gained a lot of weight. I was ogled 1000% less, and it was kind of amazing. I felt bad about myself and my weight, but the lack of assessing glances shot my way, and the change in even just my casual reception in public was really interesting. I feel like I should care, but I don't. I don't wear bras really, so I get looks pretty often. Also the other night, I was sitting at my desk, shirtless with my lamp on. Two guys walked past my window staring at me, and I just looked back at them. Then one of them pointed at me and I pointed back at him, and they kept walking and I kept reading. I hope I made their night. Depends on the guy. If it's my boyfriend, I think, oh yeah, it's gonna be a cheeky shit now, and give him a sly smile or grab his face and shove it between my cleavage or something. If it's a creepy crazy guy on the train, I get scared. If it's upper management at work, I just become even more disillusioned about them than I already was. I had this happen a lot before I had a reduction. I just want to roll my eyes and ask if they've never seen tits before, or say if they really wanted to look at boobs, just go on Google. I don't say this out loud, of course. I can't blame them. Some people just have really nice boobs. Just don't make comments. That shit is so annoying. I literally lived with them. Whatever opinions they have meant nothing. Yes, I know they were big. I have eyes. It honestly depends on the context. First is if I have a spot or writing on them. If not, then. If it's a friend, then honestly I don't mind as much, at least if we're kind of close. Like, what does it hurt me? I got 'em. Just don't make it too awkward. I don't think much and feel mostly indifferent, unless you're trying to send a message. If it's more of an acquaintance or colleague, then it's like, really? That's as subtle as you get. Do you want me to notice? And I feel uncomfortable. If it's someone on the street, I'm usually thinking, oh god, no. Please don't start following me or ask how much I cost. I don't wear things with a cleavage, and yet, so in this context, I feel really uncomfortable, and my heart rate goes up. Subscribe to our channel and don't forget to hit the bell so you don't miss new and the coolest stories from all over Reddit in the future. See you next time!